Big up the URT. You are the URT. Big up to the early birders. Big up everybody. Love and like. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. This is the URT. You are the URT. We are the URT. Welcome back to the channel, people. So, big up Jamie. Stinker and hooked, he said. Go caress. Yes, I just watched the Barca game. Paris Saint-Germain absolutely ripped them, taking them apart. The game's still going on, but Paris are winning 2-1. We'll get you some of the Champions League results up in a minute. But yeah, look like Amorim are backing their man, people. Inoes are backing Amorim, and they're backing their guy. Can you all hear me? How are you? Big up to everybody. Well, playing the youngsters took their chance tonight. The young players of Paris Saint-Germain, the youth took their chance. They played fantastic, all of them, honestly. Boy, oh boy. Proper football club now, Paris Saint-Germain. Proper football club. Youngsters at 17, 18, 19 coming on and doing that. Boy, oh boy. It is what it is. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about, people. The breaking. It is baking. It's not baking anymore, but it's breaking. But yeah, Amorim is their guy, and they're backing him, people. They're doing it. They're absolutely doing it. They're backing their guy. Højlund scores. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Monaco doing bits as well. 2-2. Yeah, people, we're going to be covering that bit of news about Manchester United and what's going on. So we're going to be looking at that, people. Big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to Saeed for the raid, people. But yeah, we'll be back inside this. Actually, no intro tonight. We'll go straight on with the show. No intro. Let's get you the Champions League results, people. Let's get you the Champions League results. Big games are go on tonight. Let's get you the Champions League scores. These are the scores from last night. So let's have a look at the scores from tonight. Yo, Newcastle did an absolute job on this team. Union SG. Boy, oh boy. Union SG. Boy, oh boy. I have to Google them to see who they are, people, because that's what I'm saying to you. We're not playing some of these teams, so I don't know who they are. Let me just Google search them. Boy, oh boy. Oh yeah, they're from Belgium. Yeah. It's a Belgian professional club from Brussels based. Yeah, Belgium team. Absolutely got hammering by Newcastle. They couldn't deal with the intensity. Doing a mad, yo, YouTube is doing a mad on me tonight, yo. Big up everybody. Love and like, welcome everybody. But yeah, you see that? I just got kicked out, man. YouTube is acting funny. Big up Foster says, trusting Amorim, only real fans know how this stop this bandwagon. In Amorim we trust. Nah, you don't support United, man. Give it a rest. I challenge you to support Manchester United. And you think something's going to get better. But anyway, big up to the people. Big up to the people. Big up the gang. Let me just show you that again, because see how Google's acting funny, man. YouTube's acting funny. It just kicked me out, man. It just kicked me out. So let me just share that screen with you again, people. Let me share that screen with you again. Yeah, so the Belgian team got smashed. Arsenal 2-0 Copenhagen. Barcelona 2-1, Paris Saint-Germain. That's the game that I watched. A very open game, people. One of the most open football games I've ever watched. End to end. We'll attack, you attack, we'll attack, you'll attack. Paris Saint-Germain deserved it. The youngsters come. But Leverkusen PSV, that was always going to be draw. Boy, oh boy. Dortmund did a job there. Monaco, Man City 2-2. Napoli 2-1. Højlund scored. Villarreal Juventus 2-2. There you go, people. That's the Champions League. That's the Champions League. But let's talk about it, people. Let's talk about it. Big up to Saeed for the raid. Always love people. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Manchester United, apparently, I'm they're backing Amorim, man. Manchester United, they're backing Amorim. They're backing their guy. They are backing their guy, people. That is what's happening. They're backing their guy. So, what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? They're backing their guy. Ruben Amorim's getting backed. Yeah. 442 coming out with some madness today. Absolute madness. 442. You know, there used to be a worldwide big football magazine back in the day when you used to collect the magazines. But they come out with some madness tonight around Manchester United, man, saying that Cesc Fabregas now is part of the Manchester United shortlist. You know, people are still asking, trying to basically trying to scaremonger around Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate has not done anything to be involved in football in a long time, man. People need to just give it a rest. But I want to know what you guys think. Does Amorim deserve the time? That's the question we're going to ask in the community question tonight. Big up, though. People are already in here, man. GGMU forever. He says, yeah, I'm here for keep. I'm here. We believe in you, Sir Amorim. Yo, that man is trolling. Yo, big up Adewale. Appreciate it, bro. Says, Nuruddin, look at the team like PSG who just have Hakimi, Mendes, yet we have Dogu and Dalot. People expect us to play well. Ineos aren't serious. Scapegoat is Amorim, but we'll have to continue to suffer with these players. No, 100%. I agree with you, bro. I genuinely do agree with you. I really think a lot of the fan base overrode our players. You saw everything you needed to know about Diego Dalot on Saturday. You saw it. You saw everything you need to see about what happened to Diego Dalot. He's level with Shada, and then he runs inside. He's literally level with Shada, and then he runs to the central areas. I'm like, where are you going? What are you absolutely doing? So, yeah, that's the question we want to ask tonight, people. Let's get 200 likes. Big up to everybody. Love and like. But, yeah, Toxic Football Club, 100%. That's the question we're asking. You know what? We don't think sacking manager is going to solve all the problems of Manchester United. But at least it might stop the bleeding for certain extent. And I don't blame Amorim. I don't. But sticking with Amorim, sticking by their man, mate. Sticking. Do you think sticking? Do you support Ineos? What's the question? Should I ask the question? Does Amorim deserve more time? Does Amorim deserve more time? Yay or nay? It's simple, people. Yay or nay? That's the question. And if you're gonna answer that, please get in the comments and let me know, why do you think he deserves more time? Why do you think he deserves more time? That's what you need to do. You need to tell me why you think he deserves more time. Yeah, man, I've seen it, man. Of course I have. This is what Zion is there, innit? This is what Zion is there, man. You see what they've got? They've got TikTok now as well. Now they've got Google as well. They've got YouTube. You can't say anything about the Zion estate, man. You can't say anything. You're getting silenced. You're getting muted. We're getting muted and flipping silence. But yeah, solidarity. I love all those incredible people in the flotilla. Biggest flotilla tried to bring humanitarian aid and break the siege of Gaza. Solidarity and love with the people of Palestine. So that's why you have to like the video, people, because they try to silence people like me. They think that football and politics shouldn't mix. But we say everything is political, especially when it comes to life and death, especially when it comes to a genocide. So I will never take that flag down. I will never stop wearing the kofia. So free Sudan and Congo as well while we're there. But people, smash the like. The way you can help me fight back against the algorithm is liking the video. If you like the video, they can't stop it. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to the people. Do you see that chat? What's the chat? Talk to me. What's going on with the chat? Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain, like I said, smashed them tonight. Smashed Barcelona. Barcelona were nowhere to be seen. Thought Rashford had a decent game, though. Rasmus scored. Rasmus just scored 2 goals for Napoli. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. We said that. It wasn't all just Rasmus. It's the way the football is. It's the way that you structure the team. It's the structure of the team that was wrong. But everybody was scapegoating him. And I tried to stand up for him. But at times, to be fair, he couldn't even stand up himself because he was eating grass because he was so low on confidence. So, yeah, Napoli have got good players. And he's going to be coached to make certain runs. And they're going to play that certain ball. Speaking facts again, you're overrating our players, madness. Yeah, 100%. People overrate these players. Some of these players are crap, mate. They're absolutely crap. But people, let's get to 200 likes ASAP. Don't get me wrong, Amorim's not flawless, but calling for his head right now is grossly unfair. Just like I've done with the precedents who were worse consequences. Now, 100% DLM. 100%. Do I think this is going to fix Manchester United? No, I don't think it's going to fix Manchester United. I really don't think it's going to fix Manchester United. But you know what it's going to do? Do you know what it's going to do? It's going to stop the bleeding. And there isn't any aspect of the game, when we're in possession, in the build-up, the way we attack, there isn't anything that I go, you know what? Let me hang my hat on that. Let me hang my hat on that. I'm going on Saturday. Is it Sunday or Saturday? Let me just double check. Are we playing on Sunday or Saturday? Are we playing Saturday or Sunday, people? Let me just have a look at the fixtures. Tables, 1 second. Because I keep getting confused sometimes. Sometimes we play. I think Saturday, 3 o'clock, innit? It's Saturday, 3 o'clock. Yeah, surely. Saturday, 3 o'clock. Saturday, 3 o'clock. Yes, Sunderland. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Sunderland. Yeah? Yes. 3 o'clock, I'm going on Saturday. And I'm going there to watch Sunderland because I've not seen them this season. I'm going there to watch Sunderland because I haven't seen them this season. You're not going to get DLM, anybody else on Manchester United YouTube who's not blaming the Amorim. I feel sorry for him. But he's grossly inexperienced. And he is out of his depth. He came out and said, no. I mean, the quote, I'll get you the quote. Let me grab you the quote. Let me grab you the quote of what he said. Let me grab you the quote of what he said about the league. They asked him what shocked him about the league, and he's shocked at what the league's like. He's absolutely shocked about what the league's like. You know what I mean? He's shocked. He is so shocked about what the league's like. It's unbelievable. So he's talking about, he's like, yeah, the Premier League is like, it's so, it's so this, it's so that. The Premier League is this. And that's what he's talking about. So he's talking about the Premier League. He's saying he's shocked at the level of what the Premier League is like. Yeah, I'll show you now. Let me show you this. Let me show you this, people. Yeah? I'm going to show you this now. This is what he said, right? Big up to the brother. Big up, King. Long time no see.
Yo, well gone. You all right? How you doing, brother?
Good, brother. I'm good. I'm always
Yeah.
good to see you. But this is what Amorim said, yeah? This is why I don't blame Amorim. And I feel bad for him. So what he says here. Yeah. First year at Manchester United, what he learned. It was really hard. It's a completely different reality. I played maybe 7 or 8 games against English teams in the Champions League and the Europa League. To play in this league is completely different. Even with the game that team plays in Europa compared to here, England, is completely different. If you sit down and you love football and you see the Liga games or top teams, you see the game from that weekend, you can change the channel to Premier League game and it's completely different. The physicality, second balls, every set piece, you have to be really strong and connected. A lot of transitions, a lot of power, and it's completely different from other leagues. Yes, humbler. The Premier League is the humbler, mate. The Premier League is the humbler. So that's why I don't genuinely do blame Amorim, because he is in total shock. He is in a state of shock. Oh, Tino, how are you doing, King? Big
Yeah,
up
what's
to
up?
you.
Yeah,
Long
what's up?
time no see. Talk, man. How are things? How's family? How's life? How's that culture? I'm not seeing any of your videos, whether you're DJing, whether you're talking about fashion, whether you're talking about culture, music, hip hop. I'm not seeing any of that lately. But how you doing, King? Talk to
Yeah,
me.
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm good. Sorry I'm late, but we're
And
out
I felt
here.
like, bro, you
We're out
don't
here.
never have to apologize on here,
Yeah, no
bro.
worries, no
Don't
worries, no worries,
apologize.
no worries. Still, but yeah, life is okay, I guess. United not making it easy. No, Mike. United not making it good. Happy. The other day, I did see you in Saeed's stream. Oh
Struggling, brother.
yeah,
Struggling.
don't let the football get you down and stuff. Do other things. It's like, bro, it's easier said than done, though, isn't it? It's easier said than done. I know you guys watched the Real Madrid game after that kind of softened the blow, but
That did. And after I left, I went and got food and I went to the cinema.
yeah.
There you go, bro.
Yeah. Like I wish I could do. To be fair, I think what you need to do if you're a United fan, you probably need to have things in place regardless of what happens in the game. Like beforehand, you need to have those things planned out because I think once the result happens, if it's bad, I find it difficult to kind of like snap out of it because it's always especially this season. I don't know why it's this season. Maybe it's just a culmination of failures, but it feels like this season it feels like every loss you kind of see just how far we are. And I guess maybe as well, I think it kind of plays on you a lot with match of the day and stuff. You watch that, you see how much all the other teams in the league are improving. You see the standard of European football and where that's going.
Facts.
Nobody like it's like what they say about like when people go to prison, right? Say the same thing. When you go to prison, your life stops, but everyone else's life doesn't on the outside. And then when you come out, you're like however many years whenever you went in, you're just all over the place. So I feel like that's how we are. We're stuck in this prison in a way, and everyone around us is obviously improving, and we're just struggling, scrambling to kind of stay in. But yeah,
bro,
those comments from Amorimg, man, like
that's why. And honestly, I knew this, bro. I was telling everybody on this community and on Saeed's channel and everywhere where I was on, I was telling everybody he is a 40-year-old guy. Never managed outside of the Premier League. Was successful in sporting. The Premier League, compared to the Portuguese league, it's like different universes, bro. It's different universes. Let me just get this super chat. Pick up Adewale. Adewale says, "What's clear at the end of last season? Amorimg needed 6 players, 2 10s, 2 wing backs, 2 CMs, and a centre back, and a keeper. Yet got half of this too, and signings, and a potential never played in the Prem. We need." But more blame on Ineos. Bro, listen, Adewale, you know me, I keep it 100 million% of Ineos. I've been Ineos. I'm the only consistent YouTuber out here, bro, talking about Manchester United. And I'm getting shadow banned because I'm talking about humanity, bro. You know what I mean? I'm getting shadow banned and they're doing the madness, kicking me off the stream and everything. But it is what it is.
Yeah, they do that all the time, man. Unless you're on here like Glazing Rio and Rooney and them lot. You're not gonna get the good traction on here, man.
Yo, bro, it's crazy.
You're not gonna get sent the tracksuits. You're not gonna be. I mean,
bro, it ain't about that. I'm not about that, mate. I'm anti-Glazer, anti-Ineos, mate. Been there from day dot. It is what it is, people. But the big thing for me, I knew my guy was struggling. They bought him in here, and when Sporting hired him, Augustino, they changed about 15, 14 players. They changed everything. They went and bought 14, 15 players.
Yeah, I remember that there was a couple posts. I think you remember them too. But before we got him, there was a couple posts on X that went viral of like Sporting fans like gassing us up, saying, "Oh, he's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great." But if you remember, I remember reading. If you read through it, there was a lot of turnover, of the squad. And one of the really sad things about this whole situation for me was that, like, I was never in or out, but the warning light started to ring for me the moment he came into the club and then that January transfer window happened. That for me was a big, big sign that these guys don't know what they're doing. They're all over the place. Like there was no planning, because getting a manager like that, who's essentially like another version of an Eric Ten Hag who needs particular players, a particular brand of football, and then only signing Dogu and Heaven on that January transfer window, and essentially telling him, "Don't worry about the league, just win the European Cup." That doesn't happen. And then it just didn't make any sense. Like it just boggles the mind to get, which is why myself as well, I'm not as much as I've been disappointed with just the lack of intensity, the lack of preparedness, we're not even playing in Europe. It doesn't feel like the weeks of training is showing on the pitch on the weekends. The reason why I can't be that mad at Amorim is because he legitimately didn't put himself in this position. I think if you put Amorim in a club where it's functioning, where they have a vision, where they have a structure, and he's given players who can play the type of football that he wants to play, it's in line with what they do, him and the sporting director are aligned, I think he's good. I think the next job he goes to, he'll do fairly well. I don't necessarily think he's going to be one of those coaches at Leeds United and obviously goes on a downward trajectory. I just can't understand why the club went to all that work, all that effort to get him out of his contract in Sporting, not to set him up for success. And then now I'm just hoping it just changes after a game, hoping it changes after two. It's like, I just don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense. And then this interview is even more worrying because, one of his benefits is his honesty. One of his negatives is honesty. He's essentially admitting like he's out of his depth. He's essentially admitting like he's getting a real life realization. Like I think people say all the time that he's literally learning on the job, and he's learning on the job, and he doesn't have the players to back him up. And the most telling thing for me was that thing about PTSD, the thing about the other players. It's so wild. Like we're fans, most of us, around the world, around the country, we have no access to these players, not just to a training ground. And we were able to see from afar that clearly some of these players are damaged, they're scarred, they have emotional baggage, whatever it may be from previous seasons, which makes sense. A lot of them have I've been around and overseen a lot of really bad periods at the club, a lot of toxicity. So it's no surprise. And the only way you can change that sort of thing, again, we're never going to be that club, but I wish we were, is to do a Chelsea or whatever club and just change the whole squad. Change the whole squad so that when the new manager comes in, he doesn't have to. He doesn't, because everyone. I saw some people on social like replying to some of the comments that I was saying, essentially saying, "Oh no, it's up to the manager to drop so and so." Not really, though, isn't it? Like, because if a manager comes in and he's struggling and he's got experienced players, he's going to lean on those experienced players. But when you don't give him the option to have the experienced players because you got them out of the club, he's going to have to figure out other solutions. And that's the problem that we have. We didn't get some of these players off the books. We didn't refresh the squad. And now he's essentially, he's panicking, trying to, not drown. Like you see players like Casemiro, who he wasn't too keen on last season. All of a sudden, he's super relying on him. Even though he got that fucking crazy red card, you'd imagine to be a bit, punishment there. It's not really, because he's relying on experience because he's struggling. But the experienced people are obviously letting him down as well. So,
and this is it. And in the interview with big up Jamie, big up all the mods, by the way, big up everybody tuning in. Somebody asked me about Nagelsmann. What do I think of Nagelsmann? I'm not. You know what? Bayern Munich, he struggled. He won the league on the last day, didn't he, or something like that? He struggled at Bayern Munich. A lot of these hipster new coaches, all of them are struggling, man.
He's not doing too well with the national team either, is he? Right, the national team. They're a bit up and down, isn't it? They're a bit up and down.
And to be fair, but it's different because national team and league football are quite different. They're very different. Big up Mubsy. Hopefully see you on Saturday, bro. I'll see you on Saturday. I'm sitting on the East Stand, but big up to you, Mubsy says. Unlike last season, the promoted clubs are much better. We will get relegated if we play like last season. We need Glasner, but he won't come till summer. Why would he leave Palace for us right now? Apparently, he's not signed a contract. But big up to you, though. He's not signed a contract. Listen, I asked them all last night. I was asking the panelists that were on last night. By the way, I sent you a message yesterday. But, X is weird. He didn't deliver the message. It's weird. I only saw it today. But it was disgusting. But if you looked around the Premier League, to me, I'm staying away from anybody that's not in the Premier League. The only guy who I'm bringing back, if I can get him, is De Zerbi, because I like the feistiness. I like him. And
he's also proved himself in the league. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit too early, but he's still, he's got.
No, but still, he's got some stripes for Premier League managing a league. I'm not having any of these Zavi and Fabregas links. Like, allow it. No.
So, if you had to get somebody from the Premier League, who would you get? I like Areola. I like Eddie Howe. I like Glasner. Who would you think out of them that suits our squad?
I'm not gonna lie. We're such a poison chalice. We're so toxic. I'm not even sure either would work. I'm not gonna lie. I think fundamentally, we're looking at it the wrong way.
What do you think is suited to the squad that we've got?
I don't know. I really don't know because you have to accept the fact that whoever comes is gonna have to play Bruno.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're already like, you know what I mean? We're already playing with one arm behind our back because there's one player who has to play because of their profile, because of reputation, because of maybe pressure from the board, whatever it may be. The problem, obviously, the problem that we have is way bigger than the manager. Obviously, it's still on the players, but I also think inherently some of our fans have this. I get the feeling anyway with some of these conversations, people legitimately think that the manager's the reason why we're 15th, or we finished 15th last season. The manager's the reason why we started so poorly this season. I personally think that this team isn't as good as people think it is.
Facts.
That's why I personally think. I think there are one or two good players who could play well in other teams, but I think when you look at us as a unit, I don't think this team is that good. I think people are really and I think people will be shocked and surprised if and when we go to 4-4-2 and the same problems keep persisting. This team isn't that good. So I think the main problem is that we obviously center this team around players who are maybe, you know, at the end of their tenure at the club. Bruno being a good example of it. He was our talisman, but now it's, you know, he's the kind of player where unless he's assisting or goal scoring, he's kind of useless really on the pitch. But because of his rep, he kind of has to play, which is weird as well. I've never known of a big like, unless you're a Messi, even Lamine Yamal, like, you don't just play because you're good. You play because of what you've done in the previous game in training. But Bruno seems to play regardless of what happens. He can't get benched. He can't get dropped. I think the last person to drop him really was what? Carrick, maybe interim, maybe in terms of really dropping him and playing somebody else. So that kind of weird, that kind of affects the way we line up, because if you have to play him in a team, then you have to play him in a position where he's not defensively minded, which then means you have one less player tracking back, which then means, in my opinion, puts more pressure on him going forward, because when he gets on the ball, he has to do something to justify him playing this free role. It's just all over the place. But I generally think like Glasner at Crystal Palace has a better functioning, way more to his needs squad, regardless if the names you think aren't that great. Like I forgot the ginger guy. Like I don't think anyone in this chat would probably have him at United. But in terms of what they need, sometimes it's the sum of the parts that are better. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when Jordan Henderson was at Liverpool. No one's saying he's a world beater, but he kind of complemented the other players. He did his job. So I think they got a lot of those kind of players. We don't really necessarily have them. And I think with Iraola too, he has a lot of players who are young, trying to make their name, trying to recover their rep. So they're really open to change. They're really open to try and make a name for themselves. They also know that if they play well for Bournemouth, that, you know, the next step for them, they could be playing for flipping Real Madrid. So there's a different kind of energy to how they play and how they listen to instructions. But that United pressure, that badge, those lights, it's different. It's different. So there's no guarantee that those guys are going to do good. If it was up to me personally, away from the man, I'd personally, as counterproductive as it is, I legitimately, if he was getting sacked mid-season, which I don't think he should be, I think he has to suffer with this until the end of the season. Personally, I wouldn't do this whole halfway season thing. We're not going to save the season. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of a wrap anyway, in my personal opinion, but everyone can disagree. If you're going to sack him in the middle of the season, get in an interim, and then do the shuffle, the clear out of the players in summer, and then if you want to offer the job to those managers, if it was up to me, personally, I'd probably take Glasner over Iraola, just in terms of being a lot more pragmatic, I guess. And it's by a margin. I think if we were a little bit more structured, I would probably take Iraola over Xavi and over Fabregas for his league experience. But because we're not structured, I think somebody like an Iraola, there's still no guarantee that he's going to do well if he came here. Fact. And he has to rely on Shaw.
Nobody's guaranteed.
Shaw, Maguire, Bruno, like those players are just, you know what I mean? And then I don't know, like, yeah, I'm not having that. But I generally do think in this fan base there is a lack of acceptance that we finish 15th like on merit. We didn't finish 15th because we had a manager in that come from Portugal. We didn't finish 15th because of injury. We finished 15th on merit. I think people need to get that through their heads, that we are not as good as you think we are. And I think the start to the season is proof of it. If we were that good, this preseason, the lack of European football, all this focus, it would have been showing now. It's not showing now because fundamentally the players are a little bit whatever, but still, I just think overall they're just not that good. What are you going to expect out of a flipping Dallo? What are you really expecting out of these players? What are you really expecting out of Bayinda in goal? Like, what are you really expecting out of like a striker like Sesko who's playing like by himself? Same thing that Højlund did. He's just playing on his own. Cunha's coming and look at the difference of Cunha and Mbeumo. Fair enough, Sesko has come from another league. Look at Cunha and Mbeumo. We all watch these guys week in, week out. Like people were calling flipping what's his fucking name? Mbeumo, the flipping black Salah. Now look at him, bro. Now look at him. Like now look at him. Like and one thing I noticed as well against the Brentford game, just look how far away from the like. What I remember about Cunha, no, sorry, Mbeumo for Brentford, because I remember when we signed him, I think people were referring to Mbeumo as a winger. And I was like, he's not winger, he's a striker, innit? Because I remember one time I used to watch Brentford, he was super far up the pitch, or if he was on the bar line, he was like parallel to the box. Now when he gets the ball at United, I swear to God, he's like near the halfway line. He's chesting it near the halfway line and then having to run 40 yards towards the goal, which is, and that was the same issue that I used to say was affecting Anthony. As Anthony was never a pacey strike, he's never had the pace to obviously maybe be successful at United. But I thought the Anthony thing was really messed up because Anthony and Sancho, they were never really adopted in a way where they were closer to the goal to affect the game. They had to receive the ball too far away, skip past 7 defenders before they got a chance on goal and create anything. Both players, obviously, you know, they're out of the club for a reason. But I just think that disjointedness that we have where it looks like we're playing like with two different teams. We've got the defenders and then we got the attackers. Like it's two different teams. It's like that open bit in the middle. It's just I don't know. I think all of those fundamentals, they only get changed when you get, which is why probably a lot of teams decide to kind of do that big clear out and get people out, because sometimes it's not really about quality. It's about maybe like openness, like malleableness as well is really important too. A lot of these players at the club, you know, they may be, the money is making them big-headed. The fact that they've been at the club for so long, they've got a bit of status and pull. They're not going to listen to you because they know they can outlive you because they've done it 4 or 3 times beforehand. It's hard to get through to those players and make them listen, especially also if we're losing. We're losing every week too. So it's like these guys just they don't.
Bro,
it's just,
bro. The biggest thing for me is that I can't be doing with another coach from another big league that's coming that has no clue about the beast, how much of a beast the Premier League is. You get thrown into the deep end with the sharks, bro. You know what I mean? With the wolves, with the werewolves. You got to try to make it out of the forest, or you got to go to the bigger. You got to basically part of the sea where all the sharks are, and you get thrown in there, man. You have to swing amongst them. You've got to become a shark. So none of them. For me, Glasner, I think he's super intelligent in terms. He is somebody I love. De Zerbi is my number one. Because I think that he'll get the fundamentals into this team. If you have a football structure that believed, that really wanted to do something, if you had owners that really want to turn the football club into a football club, and the football being the number one priority. And Manchester United football is not the priority. It's all about the finances and saving a few penny here and there. And that's what it is. That's what the main thing that is and what's going on. I mean, we talk about it in the last 13 years. And before that, it was Fergie that was part of the in cahoots with the Glazers, that was kind of plastering a bits of it. But in the last 13 years, Manchester United have spent 55 million on sacking managers. I don't think anybody in the Premier League has spent that much money on sacking managers. I mean, all of that's extraordinary, isn't it?
And all of that is really bad indictment on the lack of preparedness and the lack of insight. And then it's just...
And
it's
some of them, let me tell you something now. They gave contract to Jose when even things were rocky. He bullied him into giving him another. So did Ten Hag. They gave Ten Hag an extension as well. That's why they have to pay him.
Fair play.
It's crazy. And then they paid like people like Dan Ashworth. It's crazy, bro. How much they get hustled.
I still remember towards the end of Ollie's time when they paid for his trip to go back to Norway. They gave him that break. Flew him back on that. But honestly,
man went fishing, bro. Man went fishing.
Like, go clear your head, mate.
Went fishing.
Go clear your head. Go clear your head. It's like
2 weeks going fishing, you know. Madness.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I just think this role, it's really important to just give the manager a best possible chance to succeed. And I think now, especially with the squad being the way it is, there's been a lot of clear out. Some of it I've not really liked in terms of the player profiles that have gone out, but still, I think there's a couple more that need to go. And then you're going to suddenly have the makeup of a squad of players who have no baggage, who are going to be more malleable. And then the manager that comes in can sign their own players or profiles that they maybe are more in tune with. And then I think we're going to be on a better rhythm going forward. But I just don't want us to get in a position where the next coach is beholden or is burdened by these players, these same players. Like we have to get rid of whatever spine we have. We have to get rid of that spine and get a solid, a kind of an even enough playing field, even enough squad that your new manager can kind of have his own imprint on. Because I fear if we get Glasner in now, thinking that he's going to save this club with the relying on Bruno Maguire, honestly, man, it's not.
No chance.
It's gonna be.
No, it's not
it's
happening.
gonna be. It's gonna be a sad realization. And
Yeah.
as much as I want us to
Bruno needs
succeed
to
as
get
well,
sold. Bruno
how
needs
much I
to
want,
get sold in
how much
January.
I want us to be succeed as well. Like I don't know, maybe it's because of all the, I don't know. I just feel like as well, like we destroy players, man. I don't know if I'm just getting soft because
We
we're
do,
doing
but
for a
listen,
while.
it's a graveyard for coaches.
Like I don't want to
and
destroy
for
him
players.
exactly. I don't want to destroy Glasner too. He looks like he's got the world at his hands. I mean, so many options, and he comes to United and he takes us from like wherever we are now to relegate.
I mean, you see it tonight, bro. Look. Rashford is now seven assists. I think he's got 2 goals and like 5 assists. I think something like that for Barcelona. 6 games gone. Rasmus scoring goals. Players are now leaving Manchester United. Anthony scored in last week in Europa League. Players are leaving Manchester United and doing bits.
And the Højlund situation is a good one as well to show of like people that are obvious. Like I don't think anyone on here can say hand on heart that Benjamin Sesko is like leaps and bounds ahead of Højlund. He might be a better fundamentals, maybe player, striker thing, back to goal, whatever. First touch and shit, it might be okay, better than Højlund. But overall, what you saw with the goal today, Højlund scored. I can't remember the last time. Yeah, fair enough, a Champions League high line, but I can't remember the last time Højlund was played through on goal like that, 1-on-1. It didn't usually happen. He had to just fight and create his own chance.
Make mistakes. We don't. I said it. I keep saying it, Augustine. I don't know how much you've been tuning into the channel, but I keep talking about it. What's this obsession with the strikers? We have not. The last coach where strikers were getting fed was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The decline, and even on the Ollie sometimes, even if it'd be graveyard playing as a striker at Manchester United, it's the graveyard shift. Literally the graveyard shift, right? People used to blame it. It's because of Anthony Martial's body language. Because Anthony Martial's body language. No, striker getting fed. So I talk about doing the football, like the having team that's structured, having a decent goalkeeper, like building a stand, very good. Try to get a really good goalkeeper, a dominant centre half, a dominant centre midfield player, maybe a number 10 or a striker or a dominant inverted winger. The spine of the team has to be ready, and the spine of the team is wobbly. I don't like any of the centre halves. De Ligt is a really good box striker. But he likes to defend the box. But anywhere else,
he's a Dutch Phil Jones for me. De Ligt's a Dutch Phil Jones, in my opinion. Dutch Phil Jones, man, he's garbage, bro. I hate that he's always like he's always like doing.
Yeah, listen, like, he throws himself. He's
the most un-Dutch defender I've ever seen.
Right? Yeah, because they're usually silky and good on the ball, aren't they? To be fair, but he's the closest we have. But in front of them, Casemiro's done out here. Let's be real. Casemiro's done out here. Casemiro's just here to take the money and get the pay. Bruno in midfield. Bruno is not a number 10, I personally believe. He's not my kind of number 10 anyway. And he's not a midfield player because he's getting exposed right now. And then you see what we have, Sesko, a kid who's never been in this league. We actually like the touches, what he's doing. But how long? I mean, Rasmus looked good when he first came. He just couldn't score the goals. But at the end of the day, to blame it all on Rasmus, to me, the only thing I ever blamed on Rasmus was that Rasmus kept falling about. He was like Bambi on ice. He was eating grass all the time.
I think it's the aesthetics, unfortunately, which is the same thing for our manager. Our manager is still here because the aesthetics, the charisma, how he talks, how he comes across. And I think Rasmus suffered a lot of that too, because he looks a lot worse than what he actually is. His touch isn't that bad. His striking instincts aren't that bad either. It's just that playing in this dysfunctional team, he looked worse because every time the ball was going forward, he was like trying to stand up, He was standing up, he was slipping. He looked awful. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying, be honest with yourself. People that were anti-Rasmus, be honest with yourself and just look at Sesko. And doesn't he not look a little bit like Rasmus playing up there in terms of not getting the ball? Like we've got this guy's 6'5", He's built as he's massive, jacked as hell. He obviously enjoys getting up in the headers, getting into a physical altercation, whatever, and smashing the ball from outside the box. When's the last time you've seen him turn and spin outside the box and try and shoot? When's the last time you've seen him try and run across the front, run in front of a defender, jump up for a header? Like, we don't even put crosses in the box for a striker that's 6'5". He's 6'5", and we don't put crosses in the box. And
Looks like a gazelle. And looks like a gazelle, bro.
And he's the type of striker that kind of, there's strikers that enjoy heading. Like, if you play Sunday League, like back in the day, I used to hate heading. Some people enjoy, like, you can tell he enjoys heading the ball. Like, put the ball in the box for this kid to head the ball. He doesn't like, and I'm just sat there thinking to myself, like, okay, we got him. We should have obviously spent the money in the midfield, but who's to know, like, what we would have done with that money anyway? So I guess it's good for the fans to maybe feel like, oh yeah, we got one rubbish player out, we got another one, but like, I want, like, the similarities between what you see with Sesko up front and the lack of connectedness and the lack of part. Like, I don't even think there's, like, sometimes I feel like we get a player in, and I don't even know if there's, like, combinations they've worked on. Like, the only one I could see earlier on was in Mbeumo and fucking Ahmad, I think, in the beginning when they first came. Like, there was a couple of instances where, okay, you could see, but there's no even patterns of, like, okay, when when Dogu gets the ball, this one comes short, Sesko spins in at the back, and then a ball's coming in. Nothing. It's just having to just freestyle and figure it out. So I feel really bad for the guy, but honestly, like you said, the Premier League is another standard, because watching those clips of him, and I didn't watch much of him week in, week out, I can't lie, but watching compilations of Sesko and then seeing what he looks like in the Premier League, you're like, fuck, man, the Premier League is different, isn't it? It's different gravy.
100%. I told you, bro.
Because he look at Ibra, he look at Ibrahimovic. Now look at him.
Yeah,
he look at Ibrahimovic in his league, like,
bro, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But people will tell you, big up people, big up Colt King, so big up to all the muds and everybody shouting out saying people like the video. So like the video. Let's see how many likes we got. Let me tell you about the community poll. The community poll, does Amorim deserve more time? Because that's what Ineos is saying. The breaking news today was that Ineos are now sounding it out that they might give him the season. Well, that'll be like music to my ears, because I want us to get relegated, because I think it's the only chance, if we got relegated, to run out Ineos and Glazers. But yeah, does Amorim deserve more time? 34%, 33% have said yes, 67% have said no.
To be fair, I'm not against him staying for the season, just because I feel like, I don't personally think, hand on heart, getting Glasner, Iraola in mid-season is really going to change anything if they have to rely on the players that we have now. I just don't think somebody,
unless they get signings in January, yes.
Yeah,
unless they get guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they get signings in January, which will then allow them to bench those other players. But if they come in and we sign, I don't know, Baleba as one player in a January transfer window, but they still have to play Maguire, they still have to play Shaw, they still have to rely on Bruno and all this stuff. I just don't see it. I just personally don't see it, because I don't think there's that magician out there that can get the best out of those other players in that way. And there's just too much damage, and there's too much baggage there for these players to kind of handle. So I really don't see it happening. I really, really don't see it happening.
Yeah, 100%. Big up Chico says, if we expose Rasmus's weakness, of course he will lose confidence. Then he can't even do the basic right. We don't protect the players. Yeah, we make them look worse, and that's why they are all doing bits. Even I thought,
look at Harry Maguire. Highlight, what the hell is Harry Maguire? Like, I don't like. I've never liked Harry Maguire since the day we signed him. I always thought it was an overrated player, super inflated.
It was hype.
Like,
it was all
crazy,
hype, man.
But how dare you play Harry Maguire in the back three and have him be the last defender in the highlight? Like, what are you doing to this guy? Like, you're obviously gonna make him look worse than what he is. Like, he's already bad anyway, but surely play to his strengths. Why would he be standing on the halfway line trying to play people offside? Like, I just don't. To be fair, there's the only player that we've really played to their strengths for the most part. Maybe it's Bruno in his career. For the most part, apart from this season where Amorim's making the plays and a double pivot, I think Bruno's been the only player that's been able to kind of even play to his strengths, like, and do kind of what he wanted. Everyone else kind of just, I don't know what it is. Like, even the Cunha situation, it's just all over the gap. Is it me, or does Cunha look like he's carrying a knock?
Yeah, he was carrying a knock, innit? He had a hamstring injury.
Yeah, he looks a little bit off. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he had a hamstring injury against Burnley. Was it Burnley? No, not against. Who was it? Somebody at home. The ball got played out and he was stretched, and so he's been out for a couple of weeks.
Okay, makes
But
sense.
bro. Northern Highland looked bright too in the UEFA Champions. He gave him. To be fair, he did score a lot of goals in the Champions League for United. Remember?
I was about to say he was like, and Europe was always his place where he enjoyed himself. To be fair,
yeah, definitely, especially in the Champions League, he's got banging goals for United. I mean, the saddest thing that he's a big United fan as well, and then they got him out of here.
Honestly,
Maguire's dog shite, worst centre backs in history. I'm on record, bro. There's a video of me on Straight Jacket on the Straight Jacket podcast, Saeed's channel. Before we even bought him, and I was like, nah, he's hype. He's nothing but hype. I was telling everybody and their man, he's nothing but hype. That to me is one of the worst signings in Manchester United history for the amount of money we paid.
Yeah,
for the amount of money we paid. Same with Anthony. Anthony was worth like 30-something million, and all of a sudden we wait till the end and they panic and they buy him for 80-something million. It's unbelievable. I don't know what they do in there. Go ahead.
Harry Maguire reminds me a lot of like guys who play like, if you've ever played like let's just not say if you play Saturday League football, right? There's always that one guy in the Saturday League football who's like not good, but he's like super professional at that level. Like he cleans his boots, he washes his kit, he comes in with a little flipping toiletry bag and stuff. And even if he gets dropped, even if he gets done dirty by the manager, he always comes into training the next day, subs ready to train, eager, happy, good mood. So that I think that professionalism has carried Maguire for the whole of his career. Like that kind of leadership thing he's got going on. You know, he has that footballer's voice. Yeah, you know, trying really hard, got to be accountable, and he's got that kind of demeanor about him. Similar to like a Jordan Henderson, like that level of professionalism where rain or shine, you could depend, which is why I think coaches in general tend to kind of always go back to Maguire because he's always there. He's kind of, he can be relied upon to like stand up and be counted. Obviously, the quality is, you know, all over the shop and not really there, but he can definitely be relied upon. But in terms of ability, 80 million. And this is 80 million back then. Like, like with inflation, that must be like 100 or 120. That guy, like, and people were saying that back then Liverpool got bumped with Virgil van Dijk. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know if they got bumped. I don't know what we got. Like you have to look back at some of our transfers, especially some of these English players, like the Mason Mount situation. Like, you think to yourself, wow, man, like we paid what was it, 60 mil for Mason Mount? 60? I don't know. I look at some of these players, I think to myself, bloody hell, man, it's really beneficial that we're really bad and these players have been allowed to survive.
Brother, the craziness in the recruitment of Manchester United. That's why it's helter-skelter, bro. Helter-skelter. It's scattergun recruitment. And they don't, when they should have sold players, they should sell them. They don't sell them. Players that they maybe should keep and bring coaches and bring about an environment where players can thrive. They don't. They get rid of them. It's mad. It's like you're doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. And Inoes, for me, the reason why they're not sacking Amorim, bro, is because Omar Barada because Omar Barada, bro, was a COF at Man City. He had nothing to do with football. He's now coming to become the CEO of Manchester United. What qualifies you to become the CEO of Manchester United? What are we on about?
I just find it funny that
Wilcox was only a director of football at Southampton. Like, for a couple of months, 3 to 4 months. What are we doing out here, bro? It's crazy. And you know what they told us? With the PR propaganda, the best in class. The best in class, bro. They said, I said the best in nonsense, my ass, mate. They're the best in nonsense. Best in class.
Yo, they gassed us up, man. With that, do you remember that pyramid, that like a leadership thing that was going around on Twitter?
Bro, we were calling it out here in real time. And that's the biggest thing. It's not a hindsight thing. We were calling it out in real time and going, what? Best in what? What have they done? What have they worked at Real Madrid? Have they worked at Barcelona? Have they worked at Bayern Munich? Have they got a proven track record? What have they done?
What's that? A big up in Tia Zimba. Maguire has zero leadership skills. He couldn't lead any local team. When I say leadership skills, sometimes in dressing rooms, even if the player's crap, the fact that they are like dependable and reliable, for lack of a better term, managers will sometimes give that person the armband to send like a message. It's almost like a bit of a. That's why someone like a Maguire usually is seen as a leader. I don't think he's a leader personally. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely because when he loses his head, he loses his head completely. He's not really able to kind of gather himself. We already saw it when he had one of his worst seasons before. But in terms of being dependable and being around, that's why he usually gets the nod, and people kind of lean on him because he's just there. Doesn't really complain rarely about anything. I can't remember. Like, I don't think he's ever, even when he was stripped of his captaincy and dropped, I don't think there was ever a rumor come out about him wanting to leave the club. He's been more than happy to chill. Like, he doesn't, you know what I mean? He turns up on time for training, probably turns up early, leaves late. That's what I mean by leadership. Sometimes managers will look at that person and say, okay, I want to send a message to the squad, give this guy the armband, and then people will know what kind of standards I'm looking for based on that type of player. Even though we don't think he's good, you don't think he's a leader. I think in dressing rooms, those type of things are really important. But he shouldn't be at the club. You know what I mean? Those type of players, they shouldn't be the problem for the new manager. He should be out.
Even Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's got away with it for almost a decade and a bit. It's incredible how long Luke Shaw, and now he can't run. That's why he can only play as a centre back, because he can't run anymore.
Yeah, that lack of
to cover it.
Like,
the two white centre are supposed to cover around. He can't cover shit. We saw it in it. They got Mubson. Mubson said Areola took a few months until he got Bournemouth winning games. Facts. So we don't have the patience with him. Facts. That's true. That is 100%.
Yeah, do you remember they were laughing at him like when he first joined? They were laughing at him because of his face and how he looked a bit like he was surprised on the sideline. Then it all really changed really quickly. Like the revisionist history on Iraola is interesting because people were really acting as if like he was not going to be a decent manager. Obviously, he turned it around towards the end, but Jesus Christ, man! Like people really think if we like I don't know. I know we're selfish. We want our club to be back again, but I don't know. I don't think it's fair bringing these guys in and destroying their reputation for the sake of us trying to get top 4, win a trophy. Like, honestly, like this team, like fucking Amorim was the next hot manager coming out. Like, incredible record. He's risen from he's Portuguese league, and then he comes in. Look how ordinary and average he's looking now. Like, I don't think any team in the Premier League will take him. Not even Aston Villa. You know what I mean? So it's like, it goes to show you that there is no guarantees, especially with our structure. I think anyone else that had this issue, you brought in an Amorim, it didn't work out, you would be comfortable enough going back out and getting another foreign manager or whatever. But the fact that we have such a weird structure, you kind of have to mitigate for a lot of things. Be like, okay, cool. Which manager can come in, like you said, and work with the players that we have? Which manager could come in and maybe try to get the best out of this player? Which one can come in and work under this structure? Which one could come in and work under this? Like, you have to account for so many things that most clubs don't. It's just about coaches and style of play fit, and then you go from there. With us, there's loads of things that have to kind of be, taken into account, really. Because we don't know, like, to this day, we don't know, which is probably true. We don't know which senior players legitimately have to play because of commercial reasons. We have no idea what that structure is all about, because that might be the reason why we see certain players that are certain players haven't left. Who is the favorite of some board member or something? I don't really know. Which might be hamstringing a lot of these managers. I think the only manager that didn't do that was Van Gaal, really, in his time. Everyone else, it seemed like, had to pick somebody, like from that kind of senior group and stuff and make it work with them. And then, of course, that person ends up letting that player down. Like, even just the other day, like I saw on the timeline that was it the other day? It must have been the other day, that Bruno leak about how he's unhappy playing in the double pivot. I was thinking, like, these motherfucking players are so ungrateful. Amorim is essentially banking his entire career, short term anyway, short to medium term, he's banking his entire career on Bruno. He's playing him in every match. He's trying to flip and shoehorn into a team to make it work. And Bruno's coming out and saying, oh, I don't like playing double pivot, leaking it to the press. It's like, brother, this guy's like staking his reputation on you. Like, you know what I mean? So I think I'd just like to see a bit of change, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed. I was really looking for. I really had high hopes. I don't know. I really had high hopes for this.
You drank the Kool-Aid.
I swear to God, I don't usually.
Drank the Kool-Aid, bro.
I sipped that Rubicon mango. I sipped it hard, man. I sipped that Rubicon mango hard, and I thought it was gonna. And then it's
Yo,
just
bro, you're watching the wrong channels, bro. You need to tune into
no.
United
No, it's I tune in all the time. I watch all the time. I watch all you guys all the time. It's not even that. It's just that I just thought like his come up. I just thought the brand of football they're playing in the Champions League. I just thought, the player pro. I don't know. I just assumed that to give me a bit of credit. I assumed when they got him in mid-season and they paid, what was it, 14 million or whatever it was to get him out of sporting contract, that to me was an indicator. Oh my God, they mean business. Oh my God, you wouldn't get a manager at this mid-season and get him out of a contract, pay that man compensation, not to, overhaul in January. It's now November. You can't blame me, brother. They paid 14 million to get this guy out of his contract, 14 mid-season. Like I just assumed they were gonna do a crazy thing on a January transfer window. Then January comes around and it's like Dorgu from where? Liche, heaven, like a youth team player from what? Like no. And then here we are.
There we are. We finished 15th and we're now back on 14th after 6 games. Ben, how you doing? Big old Ben, how you doing?
Yeah. Good evening, Nerdin. Good evening. Whatever your name is, bro. Pleasure to meet you.
Agostino.
Agostino, is it? Agostino?
Yeah.
Agostino.
Hey,
big up to you, bro.
AG. Just call me AG.
That's way better, man. Big up to you, AG.
No, you need to learn, Ben. You need to learn how to pronounce names.
No, yeah. Do you know what?
Agostino. Yeah. There you go. Look. Agostino.
Okay. Yes, perfect. To be fair, in Ireland, there's a lot of strange names in Ireland. Like there's Kifa. Like there's a lot of weird names. Like so, I'm used to.
So every time I see Siobhan and Sean, the way that's spelled, I'm like, what?
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy, yeah. But big up everyone, big up the chat, hit the likes, people, subscribe. You know how it is. Free Palestine, fuck Zionism, and yeah, man. Good to be here. Appreciate you get me on Nerdin all the time, man. And yeah, what have we been talking about, Nerdin?
We're talking about how Amorim's got time in it, and I'm like, take me to the championship where we can play every 3 days. So apparently they're giving him the season. That's the rumors that we're seeing breaking this afternoon, this evening, tonight. Yeah, Amorim's got the season, and then obviously the article came out. Obviously, the Athletic doing a remixing, and apparently United have paid 55 million for coaches.
Crazy, yeah. I mean, when it comes to
they must have paid Jose at least 20 million.
20 million, yeah, it was like around that. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, when it comes to Amorim getting time, man, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. At the end of the day, Amorim is my least worries right now, my least concerns. Yet again, I'm seeing so many people on social media and content creators all over United just always bringing up about Ruben Amorim this, Ruben Amorim that. Like, where are you with Ruben Amorim? Who gives a fuck about Ruben Amorim, man? Focus on the bigger picture, and that's the fucking Glazers and fucking Inoes, man. Like, that's where I'm at, man. And obviously, if Amorim was to get sacked, obviously Eddie Howe would be the man. Obviously, I see a lot of people say big up Ben, Eddie Howe, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, I've seen Rashford do well tonight for Barca. I seen Alanga do well tonight. I seen Højlund do well. Do you know what it is, man? Like, although those players were never successful at United, but you know what it is? Like, I don't actually fully blame Rashford, Højlund. This just like, I just hope the fans can understand that tonight is actually a big night. And why I said that is Højlund, yes, Højlund was awful at Man United. Højlund's getting up every day, going to work going to Carrington every fucking day, performing in the United crowd with the culture and the environment that's set in place for over 20 years, man. I wouldn't blame Højlund if he's getting up depressed as fuck. There's a wee picture of Højlund like 2 seasons ago. He looks completely fresh. Now he just absolutely looks out of this world. Like, he looks like he's in another planet. Like, he just looks absolutely depressed as fuck. And then all of a sudden he's doing well at Napoli. And look, sometimes players can't adapt to the Premier League. They can always they always play well, like much better in a different league. That's how I see it. But you know what it is? I don't fully 100% blame like Hoyland, Rashford, Alanga, all these fucking players. I blame the fucking culture and the environment in this football club. We're not a football club, man. We're Branchester.
Yeah, we're a
Manchester,
brand. We're a brand. Yeah.
But I just hope tonight, I'm so happy. Like I'm so happy for Rashford. I'm so happy for Hoyland because, it's ticking the boxes yet again on why this fan base like can't see the bigger picture. Why we're so like we've kept this going on for 20 years, man. Like there's no football club or rugby or American football. There's no one in this world would keep owners for 20 years after failure after failure after failure. And it's beyond me, man. It's fucking beyond me. It's fucking beyond me. But this is where we're at. 20 years of this shit, and I just can't say anymore,
Ineos
man.
bailed them out, man, and that's what United fans don't want to see. Ineos bailed them out.
And that's why I'm not Ruben. I'm not going every fucking social media saying Ruben Amorim out, get him out, get him out. I'm not. I'm just not, because for me as a United fan, and I don't see them enough, Nerd. I think there is only a small percentage of the United fans that are like me, that are like you, that have been consistent for near over 15 to 20 years, man, of this suffering, man, with this ownership. This is why, I just wish the fans can do something more to bring back my club, because right now, even if Eddie Howe comes in, I really, really do worry that Manchester United are going to fail Eddie Howe, because one, the culture is disgusting. It's absolutely rotten from the top. Two, some of these players have been here for over 5 to 6 years, man. Where are we going? Where are we moving? Like Jarvis mentioned in the channel the other day, we're not moving anywhere. We've completely lost our identity as a football club. There's all the rivals are just completely saying, yous are in the mud. My father, who is a Leeds fan, he's taking the absolute mick out of me. He says, look, even my dad says, you guys are the most delusional fans in planet Earth. And he says, you know why? Because you just don't see the bigger picture. And he says, you just think Sir Jim's here to fix fucking everything, mate. But he's not here to fix anything. He's not. He's already proven he can't fix shit. So, back to my thing. Glazers and Ineos, get the fuck out. Ruben Amorim, you're not my concern at the moment. I really don't care if you're here for the rest of the season. I really don't. You're not my concern. It's the Glazers and Ineos.
Yeah, I agree with that. You can kind of see with that interview when Ruben Amorim basically because it still confuses me. I still don't understand why they got him out of his contract mid-season, knowing full well he plays a particular brand of football with a particular brand of players, and didn't sign them for him in that January. But that for me was an indication, the biggest one, that Ineos don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really have no fucking clue. Yeah. So to get a manager like that plays that way, you would have found this out about his style of play, his stubbornness. You would have found this out during interviews, during research and refer. This is what you do. You would have found this out. Yeah, for due diligence, exactly. That's the word. They would have found this out. So the fact that they didn't account for that is really concerning. And him admitting it is almost like he's too honest for his own good, but also kind of putting it out there that, hey, I know I'm failing, but there's context to this. I think that's kind of what he did in that interview. I know I'm doing bad, but here's the context. It's just, for me, I worry for a lot of these fans, because like I said previously, a lot of these fans really think that this team is better than where we're at, and I don't think they are. We finished 15th deservedly, and to get to expect a manager to come in right now without any outgoings and no major signings apart from Baleba or Elliot Anderson, whoever's the flipping hot midfield at the moment, thinking that's going to change things is delusional. Beyond even words can even describe really. What really needs to happen, if we're being honest, is most likely let this guy see out the season. However it ends, it ends. We already finished 15th last season. It can't get any worse. If it gets worse, oopsie, we get relegated and the Glazers might go, oh no, who really gives a fuck? So exactly. let him see out the season, and then kind of recalibrate everything else in the summer. But this idea of changing, saving it mid-season is too late, bro. If you wanted him out, and you should have done it last season when we finished 15th, when he fucking
facts.
abandoned the league and he put all these eggs in the European basket and then got outdone by Ange Postecoglou's fucking Spurs in the final. Fair enough if you get done up by Thomas Frank, top coach. You get done by Ange in the, I don't even try and think back to that final too much because it's so flipping annoying. But then again, on the flip side of it, I'm like, it's good that we didn't win because we didn't deserve to get European football.
It would have papered over the cracks. We would be smashed down in the Champions League right now.
Exactly, and it would have made some of these European nights, Man United merchants who just want us to play like they're already unbearable as it is. I don't want to see that. So maybe we're at for a reason. But quickly going back to what you mentioned about Rashford. You know what I was thinking when I saw Rashford today? I was like, you know what? And then I saw that quote that they put out by Maino. Oh, Maino's doing well. He's responding well to like he's doubling down and training. I was like, Maino looks in the best shape I've ever seen him look.
Really
he looks like you can tell even off the pitch. He looks like he's got a good set of people around him. Him and Euro looks like he's young, but he looks like he's got his head on the right way. He's around the right people. He's doing his thing. He's kind of because to be honest, he's a black player playing for United who wears jewelry. If he wasn't, then the press would have been saying anything. You can tell he's a good lad. You can tell, even though he's doing all the right things, he still hasn't started a game. He's barely getting a kick. So I get Rashford throwing his toys out of the pram, going on strike, whatever he did in training that got Amorim to say that, I'd play the goalkeeping coach ahead of him. I get why players do this now because it looks like in the same way it's very hard for a manager to turn around, to turn things around when they're going in a certain way because momentum in football is really important. It's the same with players. When a manager's decided that you're not the person for them, there's no convincing. So for whatever reason, Amorim doesn't see Maino as a guy. There's nothing he he's training really well. He's working out all the time, but nothing's changing really for him. So I get why Rashford did what he did. I didn't like it at the time. I thought he was taking the piss, but I completely get it now because because Hansi Flick is no joke. Hansi Flick isn't some Harry Redknapp good times guy. That's a proper manager. So if he's playing the way he's playing there, it's because he's playing the way he's playing there because he wants to. He didn't want to do it at United for whatever reason. Maybe he fell out of love with the football, the country.
Yeah, I think he fell out of love with United.
Yeah, he fell out of love with United.
I think he did. See, when you're a fan, it hurts more.
Yeah.
And he's a fan. He's been at the club since he was a kid.
Max.
But so to be fair, him walking around did piss me off, and I was like, you need to go. But because he wanted to go, and you can tell he was playing like somebody who wanted to get out there.
Yeah. He was trying his best to get fired, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to everybody. Listen, I'm asking it in a poll, done a new poll. Who's the biggest problem I see? Owners, Amorim, fans, or players? So at the moment, 77% are the owners, 7% Amorim, 7% fans, 10% players.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. When it comes to I'm
gonna just get the super chat.
Go on,
one second, big up. Aduale says Manu is the same position Sancho was pre-season before he threw him under the bus after the Arsenal loss. These managers lie when they don't like you, and there's nothing you can do. Facts, 100%.
Facts.
Get thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, he never rated. Even though some people at the club, the fans like him, always Zirkzee. And I remember in March, we actually were playing a bit of football because Zirkzee was bringing the ball down, getting people into the combination. After the match, internationally dropped him. I've never seen him since. Yeah. Unless he's desperate for a goal for the last 10 minutes, he throws him on. It's like, what time is that? Give the guy a game. Give him a half or whatever, But people get involved in the poll.
Yeah, when it comes to like this whole Ruben Amorim situation, people always think, when I posted on Twitter saying, look here, I'm happy enough if Amorim stays for the rest of the season and don't sack him until the end of the season. People always say, well, you're just one of them fans that wants the club to fail. But you know what, man? We've been winning. It's already been 20 years now. I'm not wanting this club to fail. I just want, what's best for my club, and the only way I'm gonna ever see my club come back is these vultures leave, man. And people say the coaches is what's holding us back. Yeah, he might be holding us back, man, but it's just the environment, the culture. I feel so sorry for not only the players, but anyone who works at Carrington having to wake up that they've got 75% of owners that don't give a shit about them, that just live over in America, living off their private jets, all their mansions and stuff, man. It makes me depressed and it makes me very, very sad, man, because that them employees deserve a life in work, to be treated respectfully. And like right now, it's been 20 years since it took over, and like obviously that year was a disaster year. Like 2005 was a horrible year. Obviously we lost our legend George Best, and then obviously the Glazers came along and bought the football club. Look, at the end of the day, man, like with Kobe Manu, I still don't understand why Amorim doesn't start him, man. Like it's gonna be his biggest downfall. I did say he is fighting against one of the hardest players in Man United history to ever drop, and that's Bruno Fernandes, man. I've never ever seen a coach come in and just instantly demand for him to be dropped, except for Michael Carrick. So I feel for him. I really do feel for him. I do agree with you, AG. I think he's in his best condition at the moment. I see some of his Instagram stories. He's working on individual training. He's actually working a lot on his pace, which is mad because Amorim said he's too slow, which I just don't understand. You got Crystal Palace, who have Adam Morton and Will Hughes, who are arguably slower than Kobe Manu. So I don't necessarily think it's because of pace. Like that is the most delusional thing ever. You don't need to have pace if you're a midfielder. We have Nemanja Matic, who was so slow, but he controlled the tempo of all our games when he was there. That's why I praised Matic so much, man. He knew when to play it quick and when to play it slow, man. I just don't know what's going through Amorim's head, man. It's just this obrigado shit, man. And as soon as them two just fuck off out of my club, Bruno and Dallo, the better, man. The fucking better, man.
I mean, the way he was running,
I think with Mano as well.
Big up Rhino, by the way.
Big up Rhino.
Producer of all producers, man. Go and check out my brother, man. Follow him, people. Check out his channel. He started doing football content again, so make sure you go and subscribe to the channel, man. Big up.
I think with Mano too. Like he's only slow, Mano, if you play him in the midfield where his nearest player is like 30, 40 yards away. That's when he's slow. But if you play him in a team that's compact, you play him in a team that has some shape, you play him in a team where he's got a midfield partner, he's got players around him, he's more than adequate. He's more than good enough to play in that team. And just with the Bruno thing as well, like one of the things that I kind of detest about this version of United, because we've been so shit for so long, when a half decent player comes on, like Bruno, when he did come along, he shines a lot more than you probably should because we were terrible. But my only issue has been with Bruno has just been like, he should just be rotated like everybody else. I don't get this like he can't get rotated thing. Because in my opinion, the way Bruno is, his attitude and stuff, I actually think if he was dropped a couple of times, he would respond well to it and he would actually come back in the next game or come up on the bench and be on fire. That's the kind of player that I think he is anyway. So you're actually doing him a disservice. You're also doing the players a disservice because I'm sure you guys have been in dressing rooms before. Doesn't matter what level you're at. If there's people playing just because, I don't know, manager's son playing because, I don't know, whatever reason it is, it rubs off on the dressing room. It's not a good thing for the harmony to know that there's one player who can play all the time, no matter what they do in training. That's not the way. And Amorim's already said like what Mano's in the peck, like he's behind Bruno in the pecking order. Bruno plays badly. He doesn't come on and replace him. Instead, Bruno stays on the pitch and he just has to come. It's like, what is this pecking order then? There is no pecking order. There is no hierarchy here. It's just this guy plays and then you have to just figure something out and decide. It's as if like, I personally just don't think he's that far out. Like Bruno's a good player. Don't get me wrong. In a good system, he can do something, but I just don't think he's as good as some of his sycophants would lead you to believe. And I also don't think he's leaps and bounds ahead of people who are behind him. And in general, like how Louis van Gaal did, like, I'm sorry, but sometimes just because a player's good doesn't mean they're good for the team overall. Sometimes it's one of those type of things. Like a lot, like who's to say, when Van Gaal was making Borthwick Jones ball out, that wasn't because he was a good player, because he suited the way he wanted to play. Sometimes that's what works. So maybe Mano in terms of skills, like for with Bruno, according to Amorim, isn't the better thing, but maybe playing him instead of him might actually be the better thing for the harmony of that midfield for the team overall. But he's not even willing to try that or give it a go. So we are where we are. We're going to see how it works out. But it's obviously so far the body of work, the evidence has showed us that it doesn't work. He's not willing to change it, and now he's and even that interview, like I don't even know, like maybe it's just a profile of our club. Like that interview gets done when you're doing good. Like what the fuck is that even that interview? You're smiling, you're joking about what? You're reflecting on things as if you've done a big, or as if you came really close to doing this, and then you're explaining yourself, brother, man. Like whoever gave him that nickname of the poet was so bang on.
Oh.
That
Like,
was Ronaldo.
so bang
Ronaldo.
on, man. So
Ronaldo,
bang
bro.
on, brother. I think I saw a viral tweet the other day that said something like, Ruben Amorim is the type of guy that could cheat and then convince his girlfriend.
He's the best gaslighter,
Yeah.
bro.
He's the best
His girlfriend
gaslighter.
that it was her fault, you know? Like it's like, yeah, he's that guy.
Gaslighter,
Yeah.
bro. He's got.
Yo,
I mean-
no, to be fair, he's talking like Eric Ten Hag. But that's what I'm saying to you. But when coaches come here, they get concussed in it. They get concussed because of the way that the club is not a football club, bro. The club is a brand, and they might rather know more about protecting money and sacking people and everything that they're doing. So yeah, it's absolutely madness. Yeah, big up Rhino next time, bro. We're gonna be shutting up Shumba, but I've got the last question for you. The last question. Genuinely, do you believe, Ben, that the Glazers and Ineos will be gone, or do you think the fans would turn if we got relegated?
No. It's simply this is obviously nothing to do with the. Well, Joe Glazer is a young person. He's 56. Avram Glazer is 64. Realistically speaking, they're probably in the business world. If they left right now, they'd be retiring. So, in my opinion, like, and I just dread and pray every day, man, that it's not going to happen. I can see this for another 20 years in Glazer ownership. So that'll be 40 years of Glazers. Why? Because one, I mean, uh, with the whole like government, going on with the UK, like, you're meant to be obviously retired at like the age of 74, 75. I genuinely do believe, Joe Glazer's going nowhere. He's, I couldn't believe his age. I thought he was a lot older than that. And the fact that Avram Glazer is 64, I just think that we're gonna see another 20 years, man. I've no more. I've lost complete, and it's awful of me to say this, man, but I've lost complete whole faith for this fan base, man. It's been 20 years, man. 20 years is so fucking long, and it's actually mental, man. Like, I'm what 20. I'm 20 years of age, man, and I still can't believe that after 28 years, man, like, of a United fan, 20 years of that was just completely gone by the toxicity and the propaganda shit with this football club, man. But see, when it comes to to Bruno Fernandes, and Kobe Mainu, like, if Kobe Mainu, like, I always talk about the midfield three of Eddie Howe's Newcastle and Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joe Linton. If you replace Kobe Mainu with Joe Linton, that midfield would honestly that is a Premier League side title winning midfield. Unbelievable. Like, and see if Bruno came in, if Bruno was if he replaced Joe Linton, Newcastle would drop off drastically. It's the same with Arsenal. If Manu came in to replace Odegaard, yes, Odegaard's a world class player. But yes, there might be a wee bit of a drop off because I don't think Kobe's world class, but he's still young, the kid. But he would still do a job. But see, Bruno, it's back to him again. Like, I genuinely think, he would just make Arsenal a lot worse, man. And it's not because of what he does on the ball. Like, people always say, you're just, you're just gaslighting the Bruno fans, like, what he does bad all the time. Look, it's not what he does on the ball. It's like what he does off the ball, and it's his positional sense. I have never seen a footballer in my life with that, like, he's out of position every time, man. And do you know what it is, man? Like, he simply can't he can't call himself a centre midfielder. He has to be called, his best position is a false nine, is a false striker, because with a striker you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can press like a headless chicken. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And see, when you're off the ball, if you get beaten in the press by, that's only like one position, and like, it's not crucial. Like, if you get beaten in the press by a striker, it's not the end of the world. Whereas if you get beaten in the press by the midfield, that's when it's going to go tits up. So at the end of the day, if whoever comes in for this next coach, if it's Eddie Howe, Areola, or whoever, the issue is We have so many number 10s in this team. Ericsson left. I'm glad Ericsson left, but we have Mason Mount still and Bruno Fernandes here still. And Bumo and Cunha are wingers in my eyes. But we see them two there. I don't believe I think Mason Mount's good off the ball. I do believe, but I think he does get caught on too much with his press. But I just think if we get rid of them two, over the summer or January and just move on, I generally do think we can kick on with the midfield. But like I said, man, no matter what coach comes in, and I dread it, man, the bigger picture will always haunt us again, and it always will kill us. And it's these Glazers and the Inoes, man. But Nurden, to answer your question, I think they're going to be here for another 20 years. I think Sir Jim, he's way older than the Glazers. We might see some change maybe in 10 years' time, but the Glazers are here to stay. We're not going to do anything. I've lost complete faith for this fan base, and that's where I'm at really with this club. I've lost complete faith. You're muted.
Go ahead, Augustino. Do you think the relegation might get rid of the Glazers and Inoes?
In short, considering our recent run of bad luck and bad juju, I say no. I think we're in such a cursed place that I could see us getting relegated, losing games against like Blackburn and Stoke in the Championship, and they still wouldn't go. They still wouldn't go. I didn't even know about their ages until Ben mentioned it. I didn't know about their ages and stuff, but I just know that people like that with that kind of level of money, they don't let go of stuff like that. It's not like record profits, right? Recently reported. Like, why would they go? There's no like the only way that they would go really and truly would be a bit of public pressure, boycotting, comments on social, on the big platforms. That's never going to happen. Yeah, exactly. But that's never going to happen because our fan base just isn't built that way. We just don't.
Maybe stopping another game. Maybe doing a
exactly. But I'm not too sure if it's because we are. When's last time that happened, by the way? When's last time that happened?
That was for the Super League. We'll stop the Liverpool and Manchester United.
Yeah, but that's not really to do with our own. I mean, I'm just saying about the owners. I don't think we've ever done it for the owners. That was more so for the what do you call it, for the Premier League over in football. So I get that, but there's never really been any. Like I said, that like there's probably like still a large majority of fans who generally believe that Ruben Amorim is a problem only, and that the players are good enough to finish in the top four. The majority of people think that, I think, especially match going Reds who are like there clapping after we lose and stuff. I think those type of people, they legitimately are the ones that dictate the general mood, I think, around the club. You see some of the replies on Man United account, like, wow, okay, cool. People are really optimistic and giddy. There was that one clip of Adam McCullough from Sheffield Paddock, and he's been on different shows. He's been a content creator for a while, and he's called out the Glazers in the past. And even him, like last season, was like, yeah, I see us like crushing it this season, doing this, beating. I was like, wow, like. I think as delusional and as wide as it is, I think he speaks for a majority of fans who are like that. We really do think all it takes is just like one wizard manager, a maverick, a one anomaly like Alex Ferguson to come in, everything will change. Unfortunately, history is one of our best indicators of future events. And since Alex Ferguson retired, there hasn't really been many of him that have come out since then. So us hoping and wishing that this guy comes along and saves us isn't the option. If you are gonna have this, because I saw somebody already in the stream chat talking about, oh yeah, the Glazers, that narrative of like the Glazers spend money and like it's just a manager. Okay, no problem. I'll take your position, but then you'll have to think to yourself, which manager can we get in who can work under this system? Because clearly there's an issue with this structure and with this club. So whoever you choose, whoever your manager is, you have to don't talk about sexy football. Don't talk about tiki-taka possession. I don't want to hear any of that. Think about the manager that temperament-wise. That's probably more important than maybe even the coaching ability, who can survive under this pressure, this furnace, the player power, the nonsense flipping from our ex-pros and stuff who propagate certain bits of propaganda, all that sort of shit. Who is that manager? If you can find that person who can operate under those circumstances, under those fucking criterias, then cool, get that person in, no problem. Let's see how it runs. But I generally think those managers are more rare. If they're more rare, the easier thing to do, in my opinion, because it's been 20 plus years of hurt, is to change the one reoccurring factor, which is the owners, but they're never going to change. So we're in this weird place where like we're kind of hoping that a manager comes in with these right players and figures it out. But then also we have the other thing that people don't mention too much is the league is improving every season. This league is improving. The all the power players are changing. It used to be a top 4, now we're calling it a top 6. People are going to soon be calling it a top 10. The league is changing, bro. So as much time as we're taking to figure stuff out, other managers are figuring stuff out. Other clubs,
another clubs, mid-tables are improving a lot.
Exactly. So now, like,
they're all recruiting better. They're bringing better coaches. They're bringing stability to their football club. The owners want to win.
So we're in a weird position. So, would I like the Glazers to leave? Of course. Will they ever leave? I don't think so, because I just don't think it kind of goes back to that thing they said about like motivational speakers and scammers. They always say like those are people that say, oh yeah, hey, I can guarantee a certain amount of returns on this stock. They always say that the way you can tell when somebody is like doing a scam is that they're offering that to the public. Because if that was true and you could guarantee 20%,
why are you not doing it yourself?
Exactly, you just keep doing it yourself, or tell you. I mean, you wouldn't offer it to the public as a course or whatever. And I just think that goes on to say that rich people, when they have a money making glitch, they don't usually let it go. Like, there's no need to. Like, this club is self-sustaining. It makes money despite look how bad we are. There's still a queue for the mega store. There's still that stadium is full all the fucking time. We still generate massive headlines. Like, we are in the worst, like, football wise, we are probably one of the worst teams to watch, objectively speaking. We are probably one of the worst teams. Like, you could probably watch maybe a game even in, I don't know, what's a really bad league? Maybe the Greek league or something. Even that league will probably be better. Like, we are terrible to watch and still generate money. So to sit here and expect the Glazers to leave is wishing on a star. I want them to leave. They're not going to leave. So in the short term, we have to find a coach who can work within this structure. And I just have a bad feeling that all this hype around Iraola and Glasner is really misplaced, because once they step into this club and they're told that you have to play Mason Mount, that you have to fucking have like Bruno or whatever these players are, it changes things. It really does. It changes things.
Bruno has to play every minute of every game of every second.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, like what I seen, I was over at the Chelsea game, me and my missus' anniversary. What I seen with the Megastore was absolutely gobsmacking. Like, I was absolutely shocked at the amount of people going into that Megastore. And Nerdum went to the final protest towards the end of the season. Last season, there was a protest at the end of the season, and they had to fully close the Megastore because the protests, they weren't doing any violent or any of that stuff, but they were just basically protesting outside of the Megastore, and the police and the security and the stewards had to close the Megastore down completely, which is massive news. And you know, people always say that, you know, the Megastore doesn't do anything, doesn't mean fuck all, but the Megastore, the MUTV subscriptions, they are the Glazers' income. Sir Jim's actually confirmed this, that the tickets are income, the Megastore's income, and the subscriptions are income. So, you know, when I said about I don't trust this fan base, or I have no faith, you know, see with the 1958 man, you know, they wanted Ineos the entire time. People, they will always say we wanted the Qataris, but they're lying. This is why, you know, this fan base will just never be united, man, because we're just in two different worlds, man. One world wants the Glazers and Ineos gone, and then the other world wants the manager gone, coach gone, and then he'll fix everything, man. It's just it makes me so fucking depressed, man, and just, you know, honestly, it just shows everyone's true colors as a fan for this club, man, because, you know, I mean, like I said, man, like, see, when it comes to, like, you know, this emptying Old Trafford, man, no one is ever going to empty Old Trafford, man. This is why I have no faith in this fan base, man. Like, you know, I mean, I say one bad thing to Bruno Fernandes at the game. Like, I said, Bruno, stay in your position. And I get absolutely abused by everyone around me. And my missus said this, Ben, if you want, like, you know, just try to stay calm, like, stay calm. But it's so hard not to, because it's such a simple instruction to do in football, man. And I was getting absolutely abused, and I said, you know what, man, this club will never be back, man, because this fan base is just, we've lost our faith. 20 years, man. Like, you know, as I said before, Ajax, AC Milan, Manchester City, when they were at, what do you call the old stadium? The old stadium,
Main Road.
Main Road. Yep, I remember Manchester City fans protesting for their owners, and they got rid of them. Ajax got rid of their owners. AC Milan got rid of their owners. The list goes on, man. And people always say it's an impossible mission what you're asking, Ben. It's really not, man. It's really not, in my opinion.
It's about consistent, sustained campaigns.
No, quick question. Do you believe it's impossible to get rid of the Glazers? Do you think
no,
it's impossible?
It's not impossible, but that you have to be willing to.
No. It's impossible. 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 Like a large majority. Like just look. A good example is that just look at what happens when we lose heavily at Old Trafford. Like the reaction from the crowd isn't what it is in other top teams. In other top teams, from like the 85th minute onwards, the whistling, the walkouts, it's like crazy. It's a furnace. The players want to get out. At the end of the game, when we lose heavily at home, the fans are clapping, waving, wanting to get a picture. It's almost similar to like, I don't know, North Korea when they're all kind of instead of being forced to clap because they might get hung. They're like eagerly.
Honestly,
that's class.
God, it's great. It's like you watch it on stream. You're in a pub.
I think we got used to losing.
Honestly, it's so bizarre. No other top club is like that. Where like when you're losing, where you shouldn't lose at home, you're a big club to a small club, and everyone's clapping and giddy and happy. Then on top of that, we have this section of the fan base, the top Reds, who have this like, because I was on these forums and stuff with a lot of these guys, and they have this attitude where they're like it's almost like you're being in, it's almost like they think you're being entitled, you're being a glory hunter because you want success. This is just, football comes around in cycles. We're bad now. Like they have this weird kind of air about them where they just think, no, in time it'll be all right. In time it'll be all right. Just relax. Then you have one of the other people who are like, that's where the soft power lies with our ex-pros. These ex-pros turned pundits who drive a lot of the narrative, and then of course you have the other, and of course you have
I call them out. And then of course you have
the fan channels, which are now becoming extensions of the club and like propaganda and stuff, and they put out their own message. So all that to say, it's too fragmented. It's too fragmented. Like I bet you, maybe over 80% of the fans, I bet you globally, if you were to poll them, it's hard to kind of put this into context, but I bet you if you polled 80%, 100, all the fans around the world of United, I think over 80% of them genuinely think this team is better than what they are, and with a better manager, if we got Pep in, we'd be playing champagne football and being top four. I swear it. They think this now. So if that's the point, then there's no chance getting rid of the Glazers because we all can't agree. We all can't agree on like a common enemy, for lack of a better term.
We all think it's too big.
Yeah, we think it's a player, we think it's a manager, we think it's tactics, we think it's formation, injuries, all this stuff. Like look at even like I've even seen a bit of a softening online. Like look at how they've done with the merchandise. For me, in my opinion, I think the merchandise looks way better than it's ever looked before now. The photo shoots that they're doing, the inside the before they needed to have this much access with the training, they're seeing everyone's laughing and being jolly and shit. It's like they know what they're doing in terms of
winning team.
Exactly. In terms of softening the fans from all the vitriol. But if there's a top club, they won't do that sort of stuff because they know the comments are going to be crazy, but they leave the comments open. The comments aren't closed. Like there's little things going on. So I just don't think the only Scooby we have of getting rid of the Glazers is if whatever happens to the end of all of our lives happens. But I think in terms of forcing them out, not a chance.
I'm gonna keep the hope because you have to have hope. Think about the recent fans like Bruno. Bruno is because he gets GA. Chances created. Has anyone noticed the more Bruno's relied on, the worse the team plays.
Every time. And you know what's crazy, man? The audacity for us as a collective, as a fan base, the audacity for us to banter Arsenal fans, to banter Chelsea fans, to banter Liverpool fans, or every single fan base. Honestly, we have to we have to hold ourselves up to shameless, because you know what it is, man. We've been hiding for so fucking long. This was always gonna come. We've been hiding for so fucking long, man, and it was us. It was us was the problem. We as a collective, I love Manchester United. I love it to death. But see the fan base, back then it was the best fans in the world, man. It was. And see this atmosphere, it is class. But what goes through the fans' heads? It is the worst fan base in the world, in sports world, in sport, any sports in the world. We have the worst fan base, and I hate saying that, man, because it feels fucking awful, man, to me to say that. But no sports team, and when it comes to Formula One, fucking racing, fucking rugby, American football, no one keeps owners as long as we have kept owners at this football club, and Joe Glazer and Avram Glazer. And I've just lost complete hold hope, man, because I feel like right now, as my day goes on in life, part of my soul is leaving me, because this fan base is just not doing anything about it. And you know what? If 1958 came out and said to me, and I know people would get on to me saying, "You live in Ireland, man. You can't do shit, man. What the fuck are you talking about?" I promise you right now, man, and I fucking swear, man, if the 1958 said to us, every home game we're going to be protesting for these vultures and see hopefully where that takes us, and we close the mega store every fucking home game, I swear, and I told my missus this, I promise you I'll be at that protest every fucking day. And a bonus, because I have been to a lot of protests, and most of the times when I go to these protests, I never go into the stadium. I never buy a ticket. I don't buy tickets when I go to these protests. So I will stick to my judgment. Like, I love money. I think the city centre is class. The nightlife's good crack. Bit of crack and stuff. I've told my missus, if there's protests happening at Man United every home game, I will be there and enjoying myself. And not going into Old Trafford at all, man. And I will be there, man. So if the 1958 came out and said that, that'll be perfect, but they never will, because they wanted Ineos. They wanted Ineos, and they will always lie to our faces, lie to the whole world, saying they wanted Qatar. They never wanted Qatar, man. They always wanted Ineos.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Glazers play like I got played twice. I got played with the Amorim appointment and getting them in mid-season. I think they were on some serious shit, and I got played with the whole for sale thing. They played me like a fiddle. That full sale thing. They never wanted to sell the club in full. They were always looking for that fucking partial sale, because of course it makes sense. You can, if you can get more money for 20 or whatever percentage it is, you're gonna do that. Why sell the club for like 6 overall if you can get 2 to 4 billion for fucking that small percentage? Obviously over time you can then make more from the eventual full sale of the club, which might be a staggered thing. I don't know over how long of a period until these guys stay alive and shit. But yeah, man, they played. I think they played the fan base like the fiddle. They played the fan base like a fucking fiddle. And now you don't really hear much conversation really in the press, in the media, nothing about the ownership. You don't really hear anything.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Zero. You don't really hear anything. So
yeah.
Yo, people, we can be here all day. Yo, I tried to add Danny B as a moderator. I might have blocked him by accident. I don't know if it's happened, but people, if you know him, please get in touch.
Nerding out.
Yeah, I am. I'm sending myself out. No. Yeah.
Nerding Amorim.
Yeah, Danny B. Nah, Danny B, man. Seriously. Zimba, welcome to the moderation now. Zimba is a mod now. Big up to Zimba.
Big up, Zimba.
But yeah, Danny, I think I might have. Yeah, you know what? Get Danny B back, man. Somebody write to Danny B, get in touch with him, asking him, did I block him by accident? I meant to mod him. Instead, I might have blocked him, man. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. But yeah, you both spoke facts, man. We go again, man. This club is what it is. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Make sure you follow Ben on Elmore.
I'll be streaming tomorrow, people. So tune in.
Yeah, on X, Elmore39. He's on Twitch. He's a gamer. He'll be playing a new FIFA and everything else. But yeah, I make sure Agustina Zinga. That's your handle, innit?
Yeah. Agustina Zinga handle on X.
What's your YouTube?
The Agostino Zinga Show. You can find that, and also have all the links on my other channels as well. I'm usually streaming every day anyway, so you'll see me around.
Yeah, if you're interested in music, fashion, culture, celebrity culture, Agostino's your guy, mate.
Big up, man. Pleasure.
Can't wait for Sunderland.
Oh, man.
I'll be there. I'm gonna be there, you know.
Ruben Amorim. Never gonna win again.
Oh
The
God.
Stratford and or what was it? I don't know, but something about crying at the Stratford end or something like that.
Yeah, bro. Listen, it's crazy.
We're getting
It's
bantered,
crazy,
man.
but big up to everybody, people. Love and light. Please look after yourselves. Free Palestine. Free all the
Always, bro.
flotilla people. Big up to the people in Greece out on the streets tonight. People of Italy out on the streets tonight. People in Spain out on the streets tonight. As a Zionist attack, all of the different people, activists
Unbelievable.
and community people who come from all over the world who are bringing aid to Gaza as the people get absolutely genocided, holocausted,
Yeah.
and people are going there to try to bring them some relief. And the Zionists are attacking the ships. So it is what it is. We know what it is, man. F Zionism is the biggest death cult in the world. Fuck
Facts.
Zionists wherever they are in this fucking world. Yeah?
Free Palestine until it's backwards. Free Palestine
Yes,
until it's
man.
backwards.
Big up, man. Big up. Always,
Exactly.
bro.
Big up
Always.
all the mods tonight. Big up all the mods tonight. Big up all the new subscribers. Big up everybody who got involved in the chat tonight. Love, alike. Every opinion is same here. Everybody's welcome. We don't discriminate because of gender, orientation, religious, ethnicity. We don't discriminate. As long as you keep it, everybody keeps it kosher, keeps it beautiful. In the chat, people can
Facts.
disagree all they want. People can vent. It is the therapy channel. But yeah, we're shadow banned, so please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Let me just give you the poll question. Every time we're live, we do a community poll. So we go, what's the biggest problem at Man UFC? Owner 66%, Amorim 17%, fans 12%, players 5%. It is what it is. They've spoken. It is what it is. But yeah, big up. Make sure you follow Agostino on X as well. Make sure you follow. Yeah, Danny B, I'm going to try to find him. I'm going to see if I can unblock him. But if anybody knows him, please let me know so I can unblock him. I'm going to try to work that out. I'm not going to go to bed tonight until I find him.
What sort of music do you do, AG? What sort of music?
What sort of music?
Everything.
House, everything. A little bit of techno.
Lovely.
Nowadays,
techno. Now you've got.
Nowadays, the techno to kind of drum out all the bad results. You know.
Love to.
Yeah.
yeah. Good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Fry your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, you know me. I'm into Afro house. That's it.
Yes.
You know, don't never get me with techno. I'm not into techno. And the only techno I like is from Detroit. You know what I mean? I like ghetto techno, mate. Neighborhood techno. You know what I mean? Funky techno. That's what I like. But big up to everybody. Love and light, people. Yeah, free Palestine, free Sudan, free the Congo. Free everywhere where people are oppressed. Solidarity with all the indigenous people in this world. Fuck imperialism, the war machine, and the colonizers. Peace, love, and light. Look after yourself. Fuck the Glazers and Inoes. And if you want to stand with them, then F you too. Peace.
Fuck you too.
We're out. Love is the